We just crossed a $500,000 a year run rate in our agency, mostly using cold email.
And then I think we actually just got a reply just now.
In this video, I'm going to break down my entire process from start to finish on how to win with cold email in 2024.
Yep, let's do that. That sounds great to me, man.
Okay, so I haven't started the outreach project yet, but before I do, I want to go over some numbers with you to sort of benchmark where we're even at, and then of course where we're hoping to go. Well, anyways, I own a content agency, co-founder with a buddy of mine, and the last 3 campaigns have honestly been kind of insane, to say the least. I'm gonna go ahead and read them off my Instantly account here, and you can just take a look with me. The last one started a week ago. Today's November 16th. It's kind of got in the air November 9th. Total contacted, 214. Open rate on it, 55%, and then a 6.1% reply rate, which is way above average. Already closed 2 deals from this campaign. The next one here is 80 people contacted, 80% open rate, and then what is this? A 17.5% response rate with 7 opportunities. Now, that's all great, and we're starting to get into these higher numbers, but notice how these are smaller segments, right? Next one is insane. 40 contacted, 83% open rate, and a 20% reply rate, with half of those replies being opportunities, with I believe 1 close out of those opportunity leads. Now, that's all fine and dandy, right? Getting high reply rates and like 20-25%, like that's pretty cool. But it's all just flash until you can really learn how to close these. And so here's an example of last week. This was last Wednesday. Got a reply late in the day. It said, hey, when can you meet? And then, of course, we had closed revenue at 11 a.m. on Friday morning in the Stripe account, ready to go. Now, the bar's pretty high at this point. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hope I can do better in this video and kind of show you how I'm thinking about doing even better and better with these campaigns. But I'm not gonna lie to you, these are pretty strong numbers. And sort of my theory on it is, if this is valuable to you, maybe you'll stick around. But of course, as I'm going through this, it's going to be sort of blurred out. I can't just give you all my data for this account because I know people will steal it and won't want to think for themselves. But I know you, because you're here talking to you, you're going to want to apply this to your actual business so that you can get leads that come in tomorrow and close on Friday, right? And that's absolutely possible. So let's head and hop in. There's a term here that I want to get ahead of because I'm going to mention it so many times, and it's Catalyst Database. What this is it's the place where your prospects are active. They're not dead. They're not just existing, but they're active. So the way you can think about it is if you have an active prospect or a dream prospect or even maybe a dream client, you'll see that maybe they spoke on a podcast or they publicly use a competitor. And so maybe it's on the competitor's website. Or they spoke on stage at an event. One of my favorite ones. I love events, and you'll hear me talk about them a lot too. Made a post on LinkedIn. They're actually talking about something. Those are all really good examples of a Catalyst database. Now, what is not a good Catalyst database is Apollo, ZoomInfo, Seamless.ai. Now, this plaque behind me is from Seamless.ai, so of course we use them. But that is not where we want to actually get the leads from. We want to use them for data validation, okay? Whereas a good place to get leads or a good Catalyst database is something like a conference website. If you're you want to sell your thing to cable, you can find the right people that are going to be speaking on certain topics at expos. In fact, we got the CEO of Comcast last year on a meeting from this very method, from this exact Catalyst database website. And once we have that, we can then turn those into what we call microsegments. The way I see it, you want to get really organized before you start doing any sort of planning for the next campaign that you're going to be doing. So you'll have a column in a spreadsheet, something like this. I'm sure I can give this to you as a template, but it has your database, the Catalyst database, the segment name, the status, avatar, copy, leads, number of leads, and of course, how many of those turn into hand raisers or opportunities. And so with this sheet, I always have one other sheet that I'm using, which is the campaign planning document. And again, the way I do it, the way I've showed you even at the beginning of this video, is I'm always doing campaigns in batches of 3 to keep the momentum up and then always be split testing those small little batches of copy with the leads. So this is an example of one right here. Obviously yours is going to look a lot different. Mine is going to look a lot different, but this is an example right here where we'd want to get this, to a leads person who would use these Catalyst databases, gather the information, and go ahead and get them scaling, right? So this would be a Catalyst database right here, which is SaaS founders that are on Nathan Latka's podcast here. And he does one like almost every other day, sometimes many a week. So he has all these right here from all these SaaS founders that have gone on his podcast and talked about certain things. And so this is a fantastic example of a Catalyst database. But before you do that, you want to plan them. So go out there and find the ones that are going to make the most sense to you. And then from there, you'll want to have someone else go ahead and gather them. My goal for day one is simple. I want to look at my list, get to know who these people are in a little bit more detail. Again, everything I'm doing in this initial sort of outreach test is to get to know the audience. The more I understand them, what makes them tick, how they refer to themselves, and understand what their goals are, the more I'm going to be able to write better and better copy for this. So I'm going to go ahead and take this list. I'm going to go ahead and upload it here into Instantly. Of course, grab the CSV for it and knock out the initial part of a campaign. Which, as you know, that only kicks off the next section here, which would be to map out the data. This isn't an Instantly tutorial per se, so if you don't know how to do this, definitely go to Instantly's YouTube channel to learn how to map data. And the best thing to do is always have custom variables. Go ahead and start uploading these. Now that brings us onto the copy template. And so what you want to have at this point is you do want to have a winning template script. And then every time you have a new micro segment, you can just update the first line. This is the most simple way to do it. So you know that you're going to get all these micro segments that come after it, where you're really just uploading and then you're figuring out contextually what makes sense to do a custom first line. So luckily I've already done that for this video, and day one is pretty much done here as I am going to launch this campaign. Today is day 2 officially of this campaign series. I filmed on a Friday. Today's actually a Monday. I woke up today to 3 booked meetings via Calendly. I'm going to check the campaign stats here right inside my Instantly account. One of the campaigns I have that's active right now just bumped up to a 9.8% response rate. 21 of them. I think this is where most of our sending power is going. We only have 2 email accounts we're sending from. A 9.8% response rate with 21. Tons of opportunities coming out of those. We've got a pretty booked up calendar so far. But the campaign that I just launched is only at 7% completed. It's at a 9.3% response rate. So not quite to 20. Which, as you know, that's our goal for this video, is to get all of these to like 17, 18, 19, 20%. But with all the follow-ups and stuff, I'm hopeful that we can still get there. Again, I woke up to 14 responses and 3 booked meetings. We want to make sure that we're actually collecting these and getting meetings booked out of them. And so right now, I don't even have access to the inside of these email accounts. So I'm going to call my appointment setter and sales guy in training, Spencer, and just make sure that we're on top of all these responses. Otherwise, they're just going to waste.
What's going on?
Not a whole bunch, man. I was just going to touch base with you really quick on the email accounts. Looks like we got a ton of responses over the weekend, so I just wanted to double check that those are all good to go there.
Yeah, was able to follow up with everything, and then I think we actually just got a reply just now.
There was somebody that had even talked to and was like, talking to me, let's go ahead and do this. So I feel like there's a lot of good ones out there. For today's calls,
Knock out this week, and then next week, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I bet we end up closing up a few more this week just because there's so many hot ones in the pipeline.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Killing it, man. Awesome. Day 3 is here, the final day of this campaign series. Just caught wind through the Slack channel that we just got a verbal commit on one of those sales leads that came through and booked a call for this morning. Couldn't be more pumped about that. Have another sales call. Fingers crossed for a close on that one. Hopefully I can do it live here on video so you guys can see this cycle. I'm really excited to check the campaigns. I haven't looked at it in a while. I'm going to guess that we didn't hit 20. I'm going to guess that we're not even close. But let's go ahead and log in and take a look. So, all right. So looking at these numbers, 64 contacted is all. 70%, 69% open rate, and a 10.9% reply rate. Almost 11. But it's not going to beat the other numbers that we had. And I kind of knew that was going to be a challenge. It generated some really good opportunities, and honestly what will make it all worth it is if we can get a live close on camera today and put some money in the Stripe account. Sounds like we want to create a good, strong point at the end. Is that kind of the goal?
Exactly. You know, and we want it to be, you know, the biggest thing is that, you know, each one has like kind of like a, you know, the coming up section, right? Which is basically like the highlights right at the top. And then it kind of delves right into, you know.
I love it. Yeah, this is
So-
really good. Cool.
So yeah, so like so right now, you know, we put up at least like 2 a day besides Saturdays. So it's like, you know, we're looking for evergreen type content, you know, that can kind of fill out that content calendar.
Yeah, 100%. We could knock
You know,
out.
like, you know, same with like, you know, it's like this week, you know, it's like we've already got stuff cut, you know, and it's like, you know, I was wondering if those guys can, you know, would want to, you know, help us out with that too. So
Blah, blah, blah. It's a bunch of stuff I can't tell you guys because we start working on some contract details. And then there's a part here where I start touching my face a whole bunch and seemingly solving the world's problems. For the reels, do you guys just want to roll right into December so that that's in motion, or what are your thoughts on that?
yep, let's do that. That sounds great to me, man. So just, yeah, you can send it over to my email and, yeah, but like I said, you know, get the reels in motion. And then once you get with Ty, you know, let me know on the bites.
Awesome. Let's do it. Sounds like a plan.
All right. Sounds good, man. Well, hey, I appreciate the time and, have a good Thanksgiving.
Hey, you too. Safe travels.
All right.
Thanks. Let's go, baby. Heck, if you're liking this cold email stuff, why don't you stick around? Because we got a lot more coming your way. See you in the next video.